AITA for choosing my Pokemon cards over my girlfriend. I'm 25M, and I've been collecting Pokemon cards since I was a kid. Growing up, Pokemon was more than a game or show, it was a world I could escape to. My parents weren't around much, always busy with work, so I'd spend hours with those cards, creating stories, battles, and feeling like I had something to hold on to. As I grew older, my collection grew too. I picked up rare cards here and there, and now I have a binder filled with memories and value. They aren't just pieces of cardboard to me, they're a reminder of the kid I was, the world I loved, and honestly, a way to decompress after a long day at work. But lately, it feels like my passion for these cards has started to cause problems. I started collecting Pokemon cards when I was a kid. I'm 25M, and I've been collecting Pokemon cards since then. Growing up, Pokemon was more than a game or show, it was a world I could escape to. My parents weren't around much, always busy with work, so I'd spend hours with those cards, creating stories, battles, and feeling like I had something to hold on to. As I grew older, my collection grew too. I picked up rare cards here and there, and now I have a binder filled with memories and value. They aren't just pieces of cardboard to me, they're a reminder of the kid I was, the world I loved, and honestly, a way to decompress after a long day at work. I live with my girlfriend, Sarah, in a small but cozy apartment on the edge of town. We've been together for a little over 3 years, and I thought things were going well. Sarah is 23, vibrant, and full of energy, which I love about her. She's never been into things like collectibles or games, but I thought that was okay. I mean, we don't have to share every hobby, right? From the start, though, she never really got my collection. She'd make comments here and there like, "Why do you still play with those?" Or, "Aren't you a little old for that?" I brushed it off, thinking she just didn't understand. But recently, her comments turned into arguments. She'd say that I spent too much time on my cards, that I was being immature, and that I should focus more on real things, meaning, I guess, spending time with her. She even joked once that I'd choose my Pokemon cards over her. I laughed it off, but it got me thinking. Maybe she was more serious than I realized. For context, I've always tried to make Sarah happy. If she wanted something, I'd do my best to get it for her. She loves gadgets, and if a new phone or tablet came out, I'd save up and surprise her with it. She'd always get so excited, and it felt worth it to see her happy. And yeah, I treated her a lot, dinners, her favorite foods, little gifts here and there. I wanted her to know she was important to me. But my cards? They were my own thing. I never thought they'd become an issue between us. One day, after a particularly stressful week at work, I came home and went straight to my cards. Sorting through them, reliving memories, and appreciating the ones I'd hunted down, it was my way to relax. I didn't realize how much time had passed until Sarah came in, looking irritated. She said, "You've been with those cards for hours. Don't you think it's time to let them go?" I tried to explain that they were just a way for me to unwind, but she wasn't having it. She accused me of caring more about my cards than her, and we had a huge argument. It left me feeling guilty, but at the same time, I felt she was being unreasonable. I didn't see why she couldn't just let me have this one thing. Things hit a boiling point a few days later. I came home, exhausted, looking forward to some quiet time with my collection. But as soon as I walked into the apartment, I smelled something weird, something burning. My stomach dropped. I followed the smell into the living room, and there it was, my metal trash bin, full of ashes. The remnants of my rarest, most cherished cards, burned beyond recognition. It felt like a punch to the gut. Sarah was standing nearby, arms crossed. She looked defiant, almost smug. I was in shock. I couldn't even speak for a moment. Finally, I asked, "Why would you do this?" She just shrugged and said, "Maybe now you'll pay attention to me instead of those stupid cards." I was furious, but beneath the anger was hurt. Did she really think this was okay? I tried to explain to her that those cards weren't just pieces of paper, they held memories, value, and meaning for me. But she just rolled her eyes and said, "You're always talking about value. What kind of value could a bunch of kids' cards possibly have?" That's when I realized, she didn't even know. She didn't know about the thousands of dollars I'd spent, the trades, the memories attached to each card. To her, they were just junk. I felt like a fool for thinking she'd ever understand. We argued all night. She accused me of not growing up, of not making her a priority, and I told her she didn't respect me or my interests. I pointed out all the things I'd done for her, the gifts, the time, the effort. She barely acknowledged it. All she could focus on was that I was obsessed with my cards. I didn't sleep that night. I kept replaying the scene over and over, feeling the loss and betrayal. I knew that those cards couldn't be replaced. They were memories, pieces of my childhood, reminders of simpler times. And she had destroyed them, thinking it would bring us closer. But all it did was push me away. A week has passed, and things between us are tense. I don't know if we can get past this. Part of me thinks I should have seen it coming, that I should have done more to make her understand. But another part of me feels like she crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. So, here I am, asking strangers on the internet, AITA for wanting to keep my cards and relax in my own way. Or was she right for wanting me to grow up?